Hi there, everyone. My name's Amanda Walsh, and I'm the founder of Astrology Hub.
I'm astrologer Stormie Grace.
And we're here together for your weekly forecast for the week beginning on December 16th. All right, mid-December. Stormie, tell us about the week. What should we be paying attention to?
We should be paying attention to the winter solstice. I feel like I can shut down the whole rest of this forecast and just be excited about the winter solstice. Honestly, I'm so pumped. So is it cool if I just take a minute and talk about that?
Yeah!
Okay, all right, because I clearly am very excited. So first of all, if we're having the winter solstice and celebrating one of our 4 major turning points, we know we've got to be saying happy birthday to somebody. So happy birthday, Capricorns. We come into Capricorn season. It's a new annual year for Capricorns, and it's a new season for all of us to enjoy. So if you're new or you've been studying for a while, whatever your stance is, winter solstice for us marks the return of light and the days getting longer, right? It's a big deal in our astrological calendar since we follow the seasons, right? Now, as the sun enters into the energy of Capricorn, it marks this passage of time for us in the northern hemisphere, right? Our friends in the southern hemisphere are having some tropical weather. It's quite nice down there, but we're moving towards colder things. So the sun reaches the lowest point in the sky. It produces the shortest day and the longest night of the year. And then we spend our time a little bit slowed down, getting more Capricorn, get grounded, we reorganize, we restructure. It's an absolutely gorgeous energy for having a turning point in our careers, our community, our public standing, the commitments we have, and getting serious about whether or not we're going to commit to them moving forward. So yay winter solstice plus live log burning fires is a big deal in Colorado.
Oh my God, totally. Winter solstice has become, through the years of like being involved with astrology, pretty much one of my favorite days as well. I mean, it's beautiful, it's festive, but it's intimate. And it's, we were talking before, it's my 2-year anniversary with the love of my life, which is amazing. And it's just such a beautiful time. And I think for those of you that feel disconnected to Christmas, which I know through the years I've become increasingly disconnected to like actual Christmas celebrations. This for me is like my new, like this feels aligned. You know, this feels like aligned with nature. It feels aligned with the cycles. It feels more true to where I'm at in my life. So winter solstice is a huge day. And I love to celebrate the solstices and the equinoxes with my daughters, you know, make those the focal points.
Yeah, well, and I think it's a joining time because what happens is, especially, we're here at the end of the year, there are so many celebrations, cultural celebrations happening, and not everyone is a part of all of them, even if we send each other love and light, but we are all a part of an eternal dance that's out there in the season. So it's like, I feel like when we get to a turning point, I really feel connected as well, because I'm like, whatever we are about, wherever we're at in the world, it's a new season for all of us. Right? And it's just because we're on this big old globe together.
Oh my gosh. Yes. What you just said points out again, this thing that I love about astrology. It transcends religion. It transcends barriers and boundaries. It's like we are all here under this big sky. And it's the solstice for all of us. Like there's no one's left out. How beautiful.
I know. And we all need to hunker down and decide what we're going to commit to.
Yes. Okay, everybody, we're hunkering down, deciding what we're going to commit to. I love it. Okay.
Which is brilliant because as we do this week, the majority of this week, because we've just had this full moon, is really spent with us in our 3rd quarter actions and attitudes. We're still finishing up plans and projects. We're making things final until Thursday, actually, when we have that void of course moon. This is a terrific time to put any finishing touches on any plans or designs that you have. And following that Thursday, we're going to move then into our 4th quarter attitude. So what that looks like is we retreat a little bit, right? We look back, we reflect on what we've accomplished. We reorganize, we plan for the next moon that's coming up in just a week, and we prepare ourselves to dig into the energy of this winter solstice. On Thursday, we are also going to see Saturn coming in a sextile to Mars and Saturn sextile. Now, this is a once a year event, but what this does for us is, first of all, it's a sextile. So, I like when the planets have sex because it's good for us. So you have an opportunity that is presented to you for something with structure, stability, reorganizing. And then this Mars energy helps you get there. You're determined. Your actions are sharp. They're intelligent. They're expansive, but they're grounded. So this is a wonderful week for making progress and also stepping back. Look at the progress you have made, even if it's just been in this last 2 weeks, because hopefully you can look back and say, yeah, I am not where I started 2 weeks ago.
All right. So wait, I'm sorry. We're going to be at the fourth quarter during this. This is the fourth quarter phase. Yeah. Is that what you just said?
Do the first part of the week in the third and then the fourth.
Yes, Stormie. So amazing. So many incredible opportunities. I've loved thinking about the fourth quarter as this period of integration. And, really in our culture, we don't value the integration process as much as we value the doing and experiencing, directly. But the integration phase is so essential for the lessons that we've learned, for the insights that we're having, to really sink into our bodies and sink in at a cellular level. So we get to reap the benefits of this whole Sagittarius moon cycle. If we just move on to the next thing and don't take that time, I've been thinking about it as making the integration process sacred. It's sacred and it needs to be protected by you, with your energy and looking at your calendar and making sure that there's enough space for integration.
Yeah, absolutely. And that is something that I consider as I plan and I teach classes and courses and things like that too, is that we can have a weekend that is just stuffed with information, right? And sometimes that's really fun. And if you're in specific phases, it's really delicious, but there's got to be time to absorb it so that I can ask the student to give it back to me. Right? Because they've got to absorb it. And with things studying like astrology or the things that are important to us, we kind of have to feel these things at a cellular level. It doesn't just stay in the head, right? Because the things that just stay in my head, I can say back to another person and they feel nothing from my soul. But the things that I really allow to marinate in there, when I give it back or I give it out, it's just delicious. It's like marinating anything else. It's delicious after it marinates.
Oh my God. Spoken like a true Taurus. I love how you just said that. Stormie, I just want to tell this story from this yoga class I was in a few weeks ago. And my teacher, who's amazing, but she was talking about Shavasana and how throughout the whole yoga class, our body is getting an upgrade to the operating system, essentially, right? It's getting different neural networks are being made, and different parts of the body that haven't been touched in a long time are getting activated. And Shavasana is this opportunity to integrate the changes to the operating system. If you just did the yoga class and just pop out of the class, hop in your car, you don't benefit from the gifts of the practice. It's the same thing in our life. As we're working with these lunar cycles, it's the same exact thing. So this fourth quarter moon time is the time to be in Shavasana. If you do yoga.
Let's enjoy the Shavasana.
Exactly. That's the best part of yoga class. Come on. All right.
Which is nice because then as we move towards the week with the weekend, with integration on the mind, we see Venus moving into very friendly energy of Aquarius. Now, this is a fixed air energy, and I can tell you that Venus is she likes to love. She likes to love on you, right? She's a little bit attachy. But Venus, when she comes into the energy of Aquarius, is not very attached. It's a little bit more impersonal. Now, why I love this energy is, first of all, it's great for new friends or anything that's maybe, groupings that are maybe not your normal type or something like that. It's just lots of independent connections, play and things like that. But if you've got family coming in town, if you're going to the Christmas party, you're not everybody's best friend, right? But this is definitely lovely, magnetic, friendly energy to have conversations. You're maybe not solving the problems from your childhood, but the dip is tasty. This is a wonderful, wonderful energy. And we see this vibe created for us on Sunday, the 22nd, when Venus takes its last square of the year to Uranus. So again, we want independence, we want play, we don't want any heavy attachments, but it's magnetic for new ideas. Maybe you get a new little something for your technology and you play with that. So for the next 4 weeks, allow yourself to enjoy the impersonal love that comes to your table as well. Because I think sometimes we put love and friendship in a box and it's like it has to be gushy. And sometimes it's just nice to have a coffee with somebody you don't know that well and see their side of the table for a minute, It's really kind of good.
I love that. And the word that keeps coming into my consciousness too, as you're speaking, is agape love. Just like that transcendent love that's just like, I love everybody. We're all one, just kind of like, yes, there's love, and it doesn't have to necessarily be channeled or directed at like one person, right?
Yes. I had this cool experience the other day. We're at one of the high school games, and there's a lady doing the admissions thing, and then her mom is sitting there, and her mom's in her early 80s, maybe, right? Like just super cute little Mima lady. And I walked by and I was talking to her for a minute, and the lady said, "Can you come here? I really need to tell you something." And I was like, oh my God, I knew I put my underwear on outside of my pants or something weird, like it's just been that kind of time in my life. And I walked over and she's like, "I just wanted to tell you, you're just really nice to be around." I thought it's those little moments. It was very impersonal and just an acknowledgement of another soul, right? And I'm like, yes, that is lovely. So we can have that vibe for the next 4 weeks. And Saturday, in the midst of all of this friendly, delicious vibe that we've got going on Saturday, we've got the winter solstice pulling in. So here we go. And happy birthday, Capricorns. Enjoy it, hunker down, see where your commitments are, what you're willing to commit to, and get ready for this Capricorn energy to show you how to achieve over this next 2020 year and where the strength of your resources are. Most importantly, I think enjoy your home space, enjoy your grounded energies that are around you.
Okay. A gift you can all give yourselves is signing up for that 2020 astrology forecast marathon. Woohoo! It's free. Do that. Every year around my birthday, I always get a reading. I get a reading for the year and I just love it. I think for weeks about who I'm going to have my reading with and what I want to know. And it just really sets the tone and gives like that theme for the whole year. So maybe all you Cappies out there want to book some readings. And if you are a Capricorn out there wanting to get a reading for your birthday, go ahead and go back to episode 25. We go through some steps you can take to choose an astrologer. Like if you don't know who you want to have an astrologer with, we go through some steps for how to choose an astrologer to have a reading with. And then we actually do have an amazing resource that we put together that has all of the astrologers that we work with at Astrology Hub and, their specialties, like what they like to do, what kind of readings they give. So you can check that out. That's also free. So yay, it's an exciting time. There's a lot going on. Okay, so let's do a little recap. We have the solstice. I mean, that's the main thing. It's the return of the light. The days are getting longer. This is a turning point. And this is the question for you to hold in your heart during the solstice time. What are you committing to? Stormie, it's amazing that you say that because on our first date, that is the winter solstice 2 years ago, I went over to his house. There was this beautiful burning fire, candles, it was so beautiful. And the first thing we did is we meditated together, like on the couch next to each other, just meditated. And we had talked on the phone and stuff. So it wasn't like totally weird, like I'm with a random guy in his house. And I remember sitting on the couch, devoting myself to him. Like it was the weirdest thing. Like I was just like, I am devoting myself to this human being. So obviously I was committing to him in that moment on the solstice 2 years ago.
Yeah. And it's interesting because it's a big deal. Even if it's not like, yes, we're going to run away and streak this guy together. It's like, I'm willing to invest here.
I'm willing to invest here. Yes.
That is a big deal. And it also means I become willing to allow investments to be made in me.
Ooh, nice. Oh, I'm so glad you said that. Okay. So that's number one. Number two, we have the fourth quarter moon, this time for retreating, reorganizing, planning for the next moon cycle, like taking a little time to reap the rewards of the last lunar moon cycle and looking forward to the next one. So stepping back, looking at the progress that you've made. And then towards the end of the week, just enjoying impersonal love. And just enjoying love for love's sake, not love that needs to be directed towards anyone, just sharing the love, receiving the love, and not attaching too much to that.
It's a friendly, joyful season. So to the best of your ability, go out, make somebody smile, be a secret angel. You never know who needs it. Maybe it's you.
So true. Oh my God. They've actually done studies that show that when you give, you actually receive more energy than the person who receives it. So yeah. Awesome. Okay, everybody, stick around. We have the Ask segment coming up next. We have Thea wondering about Jupiter returns. She is having her second Jupiter return. She's having lots of challenges. She wants to know what the Jupiter return's all about. And just a little bit of a excitement for those of you in the inner circle. Anne Orderly is actually going to be doing her mastery class on Jupiter cycles. So understanding Jupiter in your chart and how it works throughout your lifetime. Stay tuned for our Ask segment coming up next. You guys, I am so excited. I've been waiting for this for months. It is with pleasure that I officially invite you to our free 5th annual Global 2020 Astrology Forecast Marathon event. Registration is now open. The event is taking place online January 9th through 12th, and it is going to be epic. Just go to astrologyhub.com/2020forecast to reserve your free seat today. We're featuring 12 of your favorite astrologers, including Kai Pacha, Christopher Renstrom, Stormie Grace, Anne Orderly, Gemini Brett, Jennifer Rassiopi, just to name a few. I'll be broadcasting live with these astrological powerhouses for 5 hours per day, walking through every month of the year and making sure you know about key dates, important transits, and how the energies may interact with global situations like the health of our planet and financial and political institutions, and the types of energies you may see playing out in your personal life, in your career, your health, and your relationships. Our previous attendees have called this event an astrological smorgasbord, and they rave about it every year. If you're curious about 2020, what the big shift in energy could mean for our world and your life, and if you're ready to consciously co-create with the cosmic energies, then this is the event for you. Just go to astrologyhub.com/2020forecast and reserve your seat now. And even if you can't join us for the whole live event, tuning in for 20 or 30 minutes whenever you can is going to make a huge difference for you as we embark upon this new decade. We will only send the replay of this event to those who register, so make sure you register so you can have access to the limited time recordings. I am so excited to share this event with you so we can enter into this next decade in style together. Just go to astrologyhub.com/2020forecast and reserve your free spot today. Okay, everybody, welcome back. We are here with Thea, who's calling in from Melbourne, Australia. We're so excited you're here. And can you please tell us what is the burning question on your heart today?
Alrighty. So I've been hearing a lot of Saturn return lately, and I wonder, how about Jupiter? Because I'm going to have mine soon, and it's going to hit this stellium in Capricorn, or Saturn and Pluto is on my second house. Right now, Jupiter is in Sagittarius. It's in my sign, but I'm really not feeling it so much. I mean, probably the inner work, because I've been doing so much of that and shadow work, and I just really want to hear from Stormie what I can do to, guide me, and what tips and what I can do next year to be prepared, because it's been crazy lately, and I know it's going to be crazy here. So.
All right, brilliant. That is a brilliant question. And yes, we do. We kind of just jump and hack into this Saturn return because it's just so significant. It's like we're welcoming people to the next chapter in their book. So if you're not paying attention, it's easy to not really enjoy and be happy about the return of Jupiter, right? So I think it's a really great question. Now, Jupiter takes 12 years, right? It hasn't been here for 12 years. And of course, in the case of your chart, you've just got a lot of energies all in one place. They're all very Eastern hemisphere heavy. So you've got a chart that is a self-starter. It's very good for going and doing things and making your own way in the world, which is brilliant. But now as Jupiter comes back and transits here and lights up all of these energies in your second house, a lot of the things you have been experiencing have been that internal work for sure, right? And the good news is it's going to continue because some of what's happening is during the internal work that you've just previously done, you've got a completely different value system than you had 12 years ago. And you've got to relook at that and you've got to integrate that, right? The things that you possess, your general comfort level on this planet and with yourself is something that gets to emerge over this next Jupiter return time. Now, something else I was looking at in your chart is there is an opportunity for you to increase how you're making money or some kind of contact. Maybe if it's something you do something and it's got like passive income that's available to you. So I'm not sure what you do for work right now, but you can evaluate the things or the skills or the talents that you have. And maybe what happened is, you know, you haven't had the full courage or confidence to put something out there. And now when it's walking in this opportunity to increase your earning power. So debts or anything that you've had that you wanted to invest money in, these things become an opportunity for you with these energies lit up as well. And it's neat because even though it still stays a fair amount of internal work, as Jupiter continues along and moves into that energy of Capricorn where your return will be, you see the benefits in the material world, right? So it's like, it's almost as if, I like the analogy that it's like we get more set and centered in that spiritual space and then the vibe kind of goes out. And so as you've had this reset and you integrate everything you've learned, it's like, oh yeah, the universe, you give the universe permission to go out and expand Jupiter and bring you back into the material plane exactly what you'd like to be experiencing. Now, I don't know what's happening in your romantic life or your romantic world or what that looks like, but there is certainly an opportunity for some of that. Jupiter could kind of care less about your love life, right? Like he's like, yeah, good job. Way to be where I told you to be in the first place, right? Venus, your Venus cares. So the other thing it looks like happens for you this year and that you can explore and be with is an opening, right? Like where in your romantic perspectives, where in your ability and willingness to give and receive levels of affection from other human beings are you opening and able to bring that in a lot more? And I'm not just talking about family, in your intimate one-on-one relationships. Where is your identity shifted around these things? Because that too will kind of be that connection to a significant gift that shows up in the material plane. So yeah, you know, I can tell you too, if it happens to be with this earning energy that you wanted to start a business or you wanted to make a significant investment or go get a loan or do something like that, this is a phenomenal energy for you to be able to do that. And it's grounded and it's secure. So, and then you know for sure that you've got 6 years before you need to check in on that particular event. And then you'll have a full 12 to see that cycle play out fully. So whatever you start now, you don't have to check up on it for another 6 years. Just kind of neat. And then you'll check in and do adjustments.
So next year, I'm actually getting married in September. And about that business, so I've been starting cacao ceremonies. It's like new moon and full moon cacao ceremonies because I've really been into astrology for like the past 3 years, and I think this is my second year with IC. First year, second year, going on now, and
I think it's your second year because we talked in your first year. Yeah.
yay! So and I remember talking to you then. I said I really want to bring what you're doing to the Philippines because I mean I know a lot of and I see it, you know, synchronicities that a lot of people in the Philippines are waking up, but then there's really not much resources, or if there are, it's just it's disparate. So yeah, but I'm just really scared because I feel like I'm really not in the position to take that role yet. So I've just been starting in small circles and leading in whatever way I know I can and sharing whatever I know I can at this point in time, because I do know and feel that there's still a lot of integrating to be done. And I know it's not linear, and I've been going through these spirals. So every time I go through a spiral, I know I grow, but then I feel more of a recluse most of the time because of, again, that inner shadow work. So yeah, it's still a lot of fear right now, but I do know that by next year I need to really step out because I feel like I'm needed. I don't know if...
Yeah, and I want to just share this with you just for perspective's sake, and you may choose to do as you wish with it. So exactly where you're at and the way that you're describing it is how your chart feels to me. And just for people listening as well, you traditionally use whole sign as your method, and I traditionally use Placidus. So on your opportunities to have these earning powers on your whole sign chart, they're there, and you will continue to step out as that like student teacher trying to grow into the teacher. But I'll tell you, in your Placidus chart, you're just adapting to a new identity because it's actually working through the stelliums of your first house. And this is Neptune, the moon, your Jupiter return, then your Venus, but it's all in the place of identity, right? So in Placidus, just know that you've got exactly what you were talking about, where you're just trying to integrate it from the 12th house into this actuality that you want to be seen and known and carrying out in that first house energy. So from that perspective, I would adjust my timing a little bit and tell you, you can look forward more to 2021 being your full teaching time, but you are still going to spend 2020 putting it out there, right? Trying to be solid, trying to make it solid. And I want to point out to you, in general, whether you use whole or Placidus, your chart is the chart of kind of a natural recluse. You're heavy Eastern. When there's a purpose, you're going to get out there and go do it. But other than that, you're like, yeah, I'm just here developing my little identity, working on me, learning about me, and that's okay. Because the power of your chart is when we need you, everything you've been studying, you're ready to give.
It's such a consolation because I feel like I'm not being fair to me, but then I really still feel like I'm raw, like I'm still simmering or I'm still brewing. And if I get out of that roaster, I'll be like, it's not going to be full and complete and whole. And I do want to be full. I mean, I know we're never really full and whole because we continuously grow, but I want to be fair to everyone, and I want to be fair to my gifts and my purpose when I do come out of my shell.
You want it to be good. You want it to be the best that people can get. And that's okay. Just keep in mind too, as we move through all of this Capricorn energy that we're going to have in the first place, whatever chart you follow, it's just resetting you there. And if you will teach, you will learn. And that is your quickest way to breathe that in. And then you'll know what you have to give. And also remember, your students, whether they be in the Philippines, online, or wherever, not every student is your student. So just because they don't like what you have to give doesn't mean you don't have the very best of what you've got to give, right? It's just you're opening up yourself for the students that can hear you. That's it. And that's a nice place to be, but it's certainly a lot of new identity, and you're making some sweeping changes as all of that is happening. So, woo, yay for you.
I know. I don't know where the ground is sometimes. Whether if it's above me, if it's below me, it's all over me. I'm just but
yeah, and that's okay. You just develop great tennis shoes and cute wings.
Okay, I will try to.
They also remember that service can look a lot of different ways. So yes, like people are needing service, or they're needing the light from as many light sources as possible. And how that looks can change throughout your lifetime. And what you're doing right now is service. Like being with yourself and all the transformation you're going through, all of the shadow work and the clearing, that is service. It doesn't always have to look outward, because that, we're all completely connected. So when you shift, you're shifting yourself, you're shifting your lineage, you're shifting the people around you, you're shifting the energetic field. So it is service. So I don't want you to feel this pressure, like I got to be doing more. It's like, no, you're doing a lot.
Thank you. Thank you, Amanda. Thank you so much for saying those things. It's very empowering. I got emotional just a bit, but yeah, I feel like there's really so much, like you said, lineage, a lot of familial and cultural trauma that I'm really trying to heal. Philippines history it's not a good history. We've been a colony forever. We're still a colony. So it's really stepping out of that colonial mindset, and it's also such a patriarchal culture and society. So it's also trying to step out of that, and the Catholicism, like all this work.
Yeah, transiting Saturn's in a sextile to your Saturn right now, which is brilliant because it is like being sped up. It's like you not only have an opportunity to take action on something, but it's intelligent, it's thought out, it's well thought out. And what you're taking action on is any previous programming that was given to you that you did not design and develop of your own wishes, right? So now you're like, I don't want that. The effect of that is not what I want. Right? So that's what happens in a sextile. You start intelligently moving towards what you want, and instead of, moving towards just what you were given. Really beautiful energy. And what it requires most of the time is working with other people, right? And getting into things with other people. And that's a nice place to be, because when you're undoing all of that, you don't want to be undoing it alone.
Well, and how about the fact that Thea is about to get married? And maybe you'll start a family. So what perfect timing to be doing this lineage work and all of the deep transformation that you're doing. It couldn't be better.
It couldn't be better. And you get to lay this beautiful foundation that protects you and what you want as your vision going forward. So it may feel slow and wave-like and all over the place, but it does seem like you're on the right path. Doesn't seem off. Your chart doesn't feel off to me. And I can tell you when I sit with the chart and I'm like, hey, which path are you on? Because it's not the right one. So you do feel like you're in the space, and I hope you're getting to enjoy that.
Yay! Thank you so much. Thank you. It was nice seeing you again, Amanda.
Yay, Thea. Yes, you too. And I also wanted to let you know that Anne Orderly is going to be, her mastery class teaching is on Jupiter and Jupiter cycles and tracking Jupiter throughout your life. So that's coming. She's our first inner circle guide in January. So you're going to have that teaching.
Yay!
Yeah. The universe is working on your behalf. You have everything you need.
Thank you both. Thank you so much. Thank you, Chris.
Okay, bye-bye. Thank you, everybody, so much for tuning into the show, for being a part of our community, and for making astrology a part of your life. We'll catch you on the next episode.
Hi, this is Chris Kaplan, the producer of the Astrology Hub podcast. This episode is over, but check the show notes for links to products and services you've heard about during this episode. And if you enjoyed our show, please subscribe and rate using the subscribe button wherever you listen to your podcasts.